Hello guys, David here. Welcome to another video. I'm here today doing a video for the FM network, which is called FM for Dummies. Hopefully there'll be quite a few of these. If you do like what you see, drop into the description down below. You see all the links to my own channel. Have a look over there. If you like what you see on there as well, drop a subscribe and enjoy. But anyway, without any further ado, roll the intro and let's start with episode number 1. Right then, picture the scene. Just loaded up your fresh game, you put your profile in, you put your name, you put your date of birth, all of that sort of fun stuff. You picked your favourite team and you've greeted with this screen and you go, Christ alive, what do I do? Really, really simple, and break it down for you. You're going to go here and you're going to click Start New Game. You're going to click on one of the 4 options. Career is your standard Football Manager approach. You're going to log in, you're going to pick a team or start unemployed and work from there. You've got Fantasy Draft, where you can go into effectively a draft process. You're going to have money on players. You're going to have a certain budget to spend, and you're going to whack that on your favourite 25 players or so, whatever it's going to be, and then you can take that and go head-to-head with other people online, which is great fun. You've then got an online career set up in a very similar way to the standard career mode, but you can allow other people to jump in and join you as well, which is really good fun. And you've also finally then got the Creator Club version, where you do a similar thing to the draft one. So you're still going to set up some sort of a draft selection of players, but you get to pick the team name, the badge, the kits, the colours, and everything like that as well, if you really want to get a proper invested version of your save. If you've got a save that's been saved already, if it's the most recent one you've been playing on, it will come up in the most recent one up here. Great. Click it, jumps you straight in. Really quick and easy. If you want to load a different one, you can pick it from the load game button here. And if you want to join someone else's online game, you can do so from this button as well. You've got some preferences. There's a manual if you really can't get your head around it. And there's some other little bits that you can do in here as well. If you want to look at leaderboards and stuff like that, it's not very interesting. What we're going to focus on though is loading up a career. So as you can see, as I click on that, immediately I get my favoured team appear straight away. I've got Leeds, my favourite team, as you can see, really quick and easy to do. If you want to pick a team later, it's not a problem. You can click on that, and that's what I'm going to do, so I can show you a couple of other screens you'll see as you work through it. You can choose whether to start as a club, international, or both managers, or unemployed. So you've got a couple of different options there. Obviously, depending on which one you pick, this screen will change slightly. And if you want to change where you're starting, if you are picking a team, of course, if you're selecting pick team later, then this is completely irrelevant. You can pick certain continents, countries, and then of course leagues within there as well. If you're struggling to find the team you're looking for, you've got a search bar in the top corner. And then finally, if you want to, you can add in custom databases as well. There's loads of them out there. You can find them on the Steam Workshop. People on Twitter do all of them. My biggest recommendation is the FM Editors team. If you want to go really low in English football, they've done a fantastic tier 10 database, which I've actually got on here at the moment. When you do those, you need to download it and you need to go into a very specific file path on your computer. I'm going to tell you the one for Windows. I'm fairly certain it'll be similar on Mac, but I don't know, so don't quote me on it because I don't use them. It'll be Documents, Sports Interactive, Football Manager 2021, Editor Data. If the Editor Data folder doesn't exist, not a problem. Right click, new folder, bosh, done. Pop your file in there. It's a .fmf file. When you do that, they'll appear in here, so you can see. This is just a standard thing. Don't worry too much about that. It will give you the patch number and everything like that, so you know which version you're playing. And you can see there, any ones you've loaded will appear within there. So you can see there's my level 10 database one. If I want to enable it, fantastic. You can enable as many as you want at one time. Just don't go crazy with it because they might contradict each other and you might end up looking a bit silly when you try and load it. Once you've done all of that, you can either go to Quick Start if you've not got any databases enabled, or you can go to Advanced Setup and start to tailor the save a little bit more. In this screen, it's going to allow us to pick and choose what leagues and countries we have set up from the start. All of these will equate to an estimated game speed. The more the stars, the quicker the game is going to run for you. To begin with, in the first 2 or 3 seasons, it's not going to impact you significantly. It's when you start to get a load of seasons under your belt, that's when it's going to start to slow down a little bit. So just be careful. However, if you do add a load of them in now, if you want to do a journeyman challenge, for example, you want to just start unemployed and just go wherever, then don't panic. You can switch on and off leagues as and when you want to, which is a really good feature of the game. Well, as you can see, it's picked what we've got 5 leagues in there. it's told them the reason why we've selected them is because we've got the selected nation as England, which is what we've done on the page before. France is a major nation, Holland nation of interest, Spain major nation, Wales neighbouring nation. So there's different reasons as to why they've been loaded in. If you want to add more, not a problem. Add and remove leagues, click the ones you fancy. You see it puts in little stars to say, look, these ones would recommend you use because they're going to be quite good for you with the save you're doing or where you're starting. So if I want to pick Italy, do that. They pop up in there. I can then pick the lowest level of the database it will go to. You can still see the teams in the leagues below that, but they'll be view only, so you can't actually go and see anything that's visible there. On the mode, you can pick to see whether you want to have them as playable and then view only. Just playable, so you can play with any team in any of the leagues that you've selected. You've got playable and then view only below that list, so you can see the clubs, but you can't really do much with them. Or you can load a league in, so you've got all the information there should you want to go into it at any point, but it won't you won't be playable, so you're putting it as a view only one. As you can see, it does tailor some of the game speed and the amount of players approximately they're in there as well, so something to bear in mind. You can have either a small, medium, or a large database. You can see it's normally around about 5% between them, I think, just based on the numbers that you're seeing. You can load in custom ones of them as well, but I wouldn't worry too much about that, especially if you're just getting started. And also you have got these advanced options at the bottom as well. Main ones to consider: do you want to prevent use of the in-game editor? If you pay $3.99, you can have an editor in the game that you can use, where you can make subtle little changes if you want to make little storylines in your save, or if you just want to make someone really, really good. If you want to make someone the next Lionel Messi, you can do that with the in-game editor. Quite fun. You can disable player attribute masking. This is what the game will do in terms of making you scout players properly. So it will hide every single player's attributes until you've scouted them. Just a good way of adding a bit of realism to it. Disable transfer window activity in the first summer, and add players to playable teams. This one really only comes in tandem when you're using a really niche league on a save, normally in a created database. You might find that the database doesn't have every single player in there, so you can use the add players to playable teams button just to flesh it out a little bit. The final thing you're going to want to consider is when do you want the save to start. If you want to do something fun where you go in and you pick the team in the Premier League that's bottom at Christmas and trying to save them, I'd recommend loading somewhere like Malaysia or Thailand or anything like that, because it will allow you in here to pick a certain date which is further into the future. Really good little tip for you if you bear that in mind. As you can see with these ones, you've got loads of different options. It's basically just giving you different times in which you can load into the save. Me personally, I like to get used to the squad. I go as early as possible in the league that I'm starting in, so I've got plenty of time to get my head around things. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to put in some fun editing stuff, but we're going to fast forward and go into the next part of the save. Okay then, we've done all the loading in the database, it's done all of the fun stuff it does, which is why I had to edit it out, because otherwise you would have seen it and it would have sat there for a while, because it does take quite a few minutes to do what it needs to do. You're now greeted with your profile. You'll have done this already, so all you do is you click use profile, not a problem. You can now start to pick the team you want to go with. As you can see, it gives you kind of a brief overview as to what team you're looking at. So you've got details about the club, you've got their history, and let's not look at that for Leeds, and you've got their club culture as well. You can also just get teams to pick them randomly. Let's just do that. Screw it, why not? There you go. Liverpool are the team we're going to look after. Second predicted to finish in the league. You can also go and view their squads as well, so you've got extra little bits you can do if you want to. Next thing you've got is your managerial style. You can pick your badges and your past playing experience, which will both have an impact on how well regarded you are in the save. You can get them, if you're lazy, you can do it via the experience based on the club you're at. So you see it actually changed mine to international global level rather than I think it was continental before. And then you can start allocating your attribute points before you carry on into the save. You've got the ability to select certain presets. So if you want to be at a youth development kind of focus, you see this is what it's going to come out with. Lots of 20s on the younger side. So it's focusing on developing youth. But you've got loads of other options as well. And you can use this slider to give points across to other areas instead. All you need to do is just make sure they're all allocated before you move on. So let's just put all of them to technical and just be done with it. Click confirm. That is going to drop us into the boardroom at the club that we're at. So it's just going to do that now. See, we're in the boardroom at Anfield, and it's then going to give us a bit of an idea as to what's going on with the club at this time. So you're going to see a history. I'm not going to go through all of this because you'll see this yourself. It'll be much more fun to do it on your own club. Have a look at that. You've then got an idea as to what your best 11 is going to be. The club vision, which is what the chairman wants you to do over the next 5 years. So you can see you've got end of current season kind of like requirements that you need to be doing, as long as some other bits in terms of the general culture about the club. And then it's got some arrangements it's allowing you to do, where it can allow you to set up a press conference to introduce you to the media, a friendly to have a look at the squad that you've got at your disposal, and then an advice report to be sent from the backroom staff. Once you've done all of that, it does tick as yes. I'd suggest just keeping it there because they're always good things to do. Hit confirm. It's then going to ask you to save it. You're going to click that straight away. You see it keeps it fairly well formatted, so it's quite easy for you to know what's going on. And you're going to hit save. It will take a second because it's really good at doing it this year. And you are into your save. That's where I'm going to end this video. I'm not going to worry too much on this video about going into all of the bits that we can see on the screen now. That will be in another episode. For this one, like I say, it was just letting you guys know how to get into the game and get into managing your favourite club or any other one, whatever it might be. So that's going to be it from me, guys. Thank you again to the FM Network for letting me do this video. If you have any questions about any of this, then drop anything in the comments and either myself or the guys there will get back to you as soon as possible. If you liked the video, smash the thumbs up button down there. Subscribe to the FM Network and drop a subscribe on my channel. Link is in the description, as I mentioned before. And have an awesome one. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. My name's David, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.